Hi, everyone. Welcome to Beyond the Book. I'm really excited to have Christian Johnson here today. We had a previous chat earlier. It was so much fun. I hope we can continue with the same, the same energy. So thank you so much for being here, Christian. How are you doing today?
Karen, I am excited about this conversation. I believe it's going to be life-changing because you and I said yes to having this conversation. So let's continue to do what needs to be done because I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So tell us a little bit about you, Christian, for anyone who hasn't heard your name yet.
Yeah, so I am Christian F. Johnson. I'm a life coach, a speaker. Present-centered leadership is really my focus. I'm very face forward with how I operate. I help spiritually minded, high-achieving leaders destroy distractions, align with God, I say the realm of heaven, and fortify their focus so that they can really live out that divine assignment. One of the things I love to ask my clients, Karen, is why did God place you here on earth? And it would blow your mind how many times people are like, I never really thought about that. I'm good at this, I'm good at that. But if we're going to live here in earth and still access a realm of heaven from that, we got to know what our assignment is and making sure that we're doing good and releasing it in the earth. So that's pretty much my heart posture. I love working with ministry leaders. I love working with entrepreneurs, and I really love working with educators as well. But that's me in a nutshell.
And how do you start? How did you start in this journey? Because
Oh,
obviously, when you're talking about my passion, my mission,
yeah.
there's multiple books about
Oh,
self
yeah.
help that never talk about spirituality as part of the mission and the purpose. So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, how did you start in the journey? What happened to you?
Oh my goodness gracious. So I have so many variations of that story. Okay. First off, I've been coaching. The name of the business is Purpose Filled Life Coaching, LLC. All right. And so I've been coaching for 10 plus years. First, it was my wife and I. We did couples coaching, marriage coaching, and different things like that. She has her own business, and I'm stuck in the area of the coaching realm. We did conferences and different things like that. And I also have a special education background because prior to coaching, I was doing teaching in special education. But when it comes to the area of coaching now and even writing books, it really, it really was a game changer for me. I felt like a God shift really in March the 2nd of this year. Now, hear me, stick with me real quick, right? Because that sounds like I see your face. I see your face, right? But stick with me because I've been coaching and speaking. And so the book that I wrote is called When You're Speaking But Still Silent, because this is where the shift really happened for me. Karen, I have been suffering from mass messaging, mimicry, and misalignment. And here's this is what I mean. If E.T. the hip hop preacher said it, if Tony Robbins, if Oprah, if Karen, whoever, I felt like their voice was more powerful or more potent than my own voice. And so I was suffering from there as a speaker, as a coach on platforms. And on March the 2nd, somebody who loves me dearly, and I'll just call him Bobby to protect their name, Bobby said to me, Christian, it's really hard to hear you speak because it doesn't sound like you anymore. It sounds like you're speaking, but it's not from your authentic voice. At that time, that's when this message was birthed when it comes to speaking, but you're still silent because it wasn't me. It was what I thought you wanted to hear. And we're in a world of performance. But then God really dealt with my heart about you need to operate from presence that goes beyond an area of performance. And so I realized I wasn't the only one, that there's many people who have the brand, and I know you're in digital marketing and everything else. They have the brand, but the man is not aligned with the brand. Well, I'm that person that comes along while you're doing what you're doing to make sure that the man and the brand are very much aligned.
Wow, that's a very good one. I've seen those. Actually, just to protect some names, I'm not gonna say.
Don't get us in trouble, okay?
No, we're not gonna get in trouble, but it's so sad when you get the chance to see people online and then you are like, oh my God, they're amazing. They're sharing all this knowledge. And then you meet them in person and you're like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah.
this person is really rude, or this person is not aligned with what I can see online. This person doesn't even feel like the person that I'm seeing online that I really feel like I know. Because obviously, when you go online and you have a digital presence and you have social media, and when you have a podcast, people have these expectations that obviously you don't have to meet them, right? But at least the soul and the heart, like, it's something that you can fake. And then
Woo!
when you see someone online, You're like, I love this person. I really want to connect with this person. This person spoke to me. But when you meet them and then live event, or because they're going to have a live event, or you're going to meet them somewhere because you're such a fan, right, of this person, you're so grateful for what they've done. And you meet them in person, that's like, oh, wow. And I've been in the, not necessarily, obviously, when you're working with them, it's different because they
Mhm.
have a win win. But again, like to me, this what you're saying, it makes a lot of sense because I feel like they're empty. Like, and
Mm.
they're empty. That's their reality, right? Like you are dreaming and aiming, and all these people that you see online, they struggle with so many things. And I don't like the imposter syndrome kind of mindset. I just think you don't have a soul that it's filled with like love and passion, and not this crazy passionate, but actually like filled with love and patience and kindness. And I don't know. This year for me has been, like I told you earlier on, this year for me has been really going back to God and saying, "Give me peace." Like back
Mm.
that peace, right? Because when I started my company, I was 100% sure it was God's calling because
Yeah.
he gave me the project, he gave me the dream, he gave me everything. He opened the doors, but the problem is sometimes the doors that we open are not the good doors. So
Yeah.
or they led us to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and then out of the sudden, you're not with your family anymore. You're not with yourself anymore. You're not at church anymore.
Yeah.
And definitely what you do is so powerful. What you do is
Oh.
so important because we sometimes, and I'm going to speak from founder, multiple business owner, investor, you get into all this. I love to say, this is from one of my mentors, Scott Mantor. People are over networked and underconnected. So,
Ooh.
yeah, because it's true. We're underconnected. And what you're doing on a daily basis with all these entrepreneurs and business owners is reminding them that they have to be connected first with God, and then they will be able to connect with other people. If not, everything is shallow and everything is just a facade that you won't be able to maintain. That's a reality.
Yeah, look, you said something that was very powerful. And I'm gonna say it this way: every good door is not a God door. Because as you're processing these things, and again, somebody maybe say, okay, Christian, I hear you talking about, why, what's your reason here for on earth? And, you know, I'm financially stable. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm great. I have multiple business, like you said, but I never really asked myself that question. Where would I navigate that? And this is what I want to help you to realize: you're already doing it. Sometimes we just don't even realize it because there's distractions that is in the world, right? We're in the world. We're not of it, but we're here. So what frustrates you sometimes can show you, you know what? It frustrates me in the world when people do XYZ. That may be a part of the reason why you were sent here, because there's a problem that you are called to solve. Every business owner, you get paid what you get paid because you can solve a problem. Other thing is, what do people go to you for? Like, just, I mean, unsolicited, like they just come to you because, Karen, I need you to do this. Oh, why did they? Because you have that solution, that God idea, that concept to help you to operate and move forward within there. The key is when we get that thing, we take ownership, understand that, cooperate with God. It's a song out there, is not a gospel song at all, but he says, Ludacris says, when I move, you move, just like that, right? And so that's a cooperation that you tag team with God to express what you've been experiencing. And I love what you said, love. If that's the basis, if nobody wants to do anything else, if we can all agree, whether you agree with my belief system or not, the principle remains the same, that if I can operate through love and experience it and express it, then this world is better off. And that's a reminder.
I want keep going.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know if you were getting ready to say something. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
But
I'm
so
just like
I want to,
taking it all in.
no, I want to share something, because this is something. Can I share one of the methods that I actually coach from? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
So when I do a discovery call, a lot of times, or I call them alignment calls, the first thing I do is I take the potential client through something I call the rinse method. Now, the rinse method, it means something to me because growing up, I lost my biological father when I was 6 years old. Okay. So if you ever hear me talk about my dad, I'm talking about a stepdad, but I don't do stepdads because steps are something you step on. God took my father home. And so this is my father. Just put that out there in clarity. But my mom would say, anytime I had irritation in my throat, she would say, Christian, I need you to get warm salt water, swish it around your mouth, and I need you to rinse it. Don't swallow it. I want you to spit this out. And this became an acronym that I started to live by to help me to rinse and release. And it's an acronym. So if anybody's paying attention, you want to write this down. This is what I believe will help us live in that gap from what we're called to do on earth and align with that realm of heaven. Heaven is not the place that you just go when you die. It's a place that Jesus had access to while he's here on earth. And this is what I want to share with you. R is to recognize what's distracting you from your divine purpose. As entrepreneurs, there is so many things that can distract us from what the divine purpose that God has given us to do. As we've heard from Karen, a good door is not always a God door. So that good door to recognize, okay, this is where I'm focused at, but this could be a distraction. I love that word, distraction. Dis, right? D-I-S. You look at there and you remove all the dis's out of your life, then you have traction. You remove the TR, then you have action. A distraction is anything that is hindering you from the God-given traction that will have you to operate in a place of divine action. And so anything, sometimes that's a phone call for me. Sometimes that's an email. Sometimes that's a negative person. Sometimes that's something that I need to release. I woke up heavy and I feel down and out. What do I need to release? That's a distraction that's keeping me from there. That's just the R. The I is to identify your authentic divine assignment. And that assignment is what we talked about a little before. What is it that you feel like you're here for? What do you want to express? Have fun with that. It's a wonderful thing when you're aligned with there, because where that divine flow is, listen, God always provides for his vision. That's what I call provision. And he gave you a vision. He gave you insight. Now it's easy as we got that vision and we're executing it where we can be tempted by the earth. And there can be things that can help shift us, but we have that connection that will help us realize that, okay, then that's why you can have coaching, you have books, you have therapy, you have all these things that help you stay in that place. The end is to neutralize those distractions by starving them of attention. Now, this is really key, because to neutralize something, what you feed will live, but what you starve is going to die. And I don't know about you, but for me, I can have a whole lot of things going on great, but it takes one little thing that pisses me off, forgive me for saying that in there, and now the rest of my day is jacked up. Why do we give the distractions so much power? If we can neutralize them by focusing our attention on things that are good, righteous, a good report, and operate from that love, then we can move into the S and starve those things, but then strengthen our alignment. I don't know about you, but I'm not focusing on all the negative things that's happening in the news. I'm not focusing on all the negative things that are happening in our earth. I'm choosing to align with a realm of heaven where there's good, great, and awesomeness, and realize that because there is no unforgiveness in heaven, it shouldn't be here on earth. So I need to rid myself and forgive who I need to forgive. Because there's no poverty in the realm of heaven, then I shouldn't be experiencing it here on earth. So I want to bring back that abundance. And then E is to execute from your divine center, where that focus action is. What good is information, transformation, if we don't have demonstration? We have to execute. We are in a information age. I know I'm preaching good right now, right? So if we are in a information age, AI, I love it. But what good is it if we just have the information? That's head knowledge. Transformation hits the heart.
Yeah.
Now, heart knowledge to demonstrate, and the demonstration is what I call feet knowledge, because we get to walk this thing out. And you are successful, and our viewers and our listeners are successful because they have information, a transformation, and a demonstration. And that's what I see Jesus the Christ doing. He's demonstrating that I come to do the will of my Father, not just talk about it and not just to write about it. It's a living example, a model for people to live after. I'll pause. Talk to me.
You said a word that I have this love-hate with, which is
Uh-oh.
success. Success.
Okay.
Oh my God. Like the definition of success has been so difficult for me to define because there's um success based on what, for who, when, right? Just to share a little bit about my story again, one of the things when you have a company that has 132 employees and then you are working with all these people from TV, you say no to one of the biggest stars in pop to launch their skincare line because you don't want to, and then you say to another big pop star, I don't want to, I don't want to work with you. And I'm just a girl from Mexico, from a very small town next to Arizona. Nobody knows this border called Sonora. And then it's kind of like, I'm so lucky. I need to keep doing more, right? I need to do more. I need to do more. I don't deserve this. Like I have all
Mm.
this blessings, and
Yeah.
I'm lucky there's multiple people who would like to be in my position. And then you start kind of like getting into that mindset that you need to do more. Nonstop, nonstop, lots of hours, nonstop. Then I have two kids. I have a 9 and a 10-year-old. And then like,
Oh.
okay, then you tell yourself, okay, I'm doing this for you. But the truth is, kids don't need a mom working all the time. I was very
Mm.
success like you can be very successful at work, but what's happening at home? What's happening with your friends? There was one day that my mom told me, I don't recognize you. You've changed. You don't smile anymore. You don't obviously for the world, when I was in, let's say I was in London and I was in New York and I was in Phoenix, and I got all the you get into a room and everyone knows who you are, and you just like literally just started a company a few years ago,
Mhm.
being recognized. It's true, I didn't realize my smile just left my body. I was smiling at networking events. And I remember back in the time, Christian, when I was just starting, I was praying every day. And my prayer was, there were two different prayers that I still do every day. So it's, God, let me meet the people you want me to meet. Every day,
Mm.
morning, every event, I say, God, let me meet the people you want me. I don't want to meet anyone. So I started doing this, like, I'm gonna go alone to a place that no one is, and the people will come to me because every single people who would come to me, I would know that you send it, right? Like
Yeah.
I won't be reaching out to people because I'm asking you to send the people. That's
Yes.
the first.
Yes. Yes.
And that prayer also was very powerful. But the other one is like, give me your grace, right?
Mm.
Your grace. And I remember people used to say, Karen, how do you meet all these people? Like, why do you meet them? What do you have? What do you do? What are you saying? Teach me. And honestly, my prayer was like, give me your grace. Like, make me someone who people feel like they can connect with me, and make me someone that can help them
Yeah.
from an honest place. And when you were saying people compare themselves to the other speaker who has more followers, more
Mhm.
connections, more money,
Mhm.
they're comparing to an illusion in their mind.
Ooh.
Because, Christian, this it's not a reality. It's a lot of money played with ads. There's a
Mm.
team, there's a business, there's an organization. I'm not saying they're evil, don't get me wrong. They're good.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
you can compare someone's day 20,000 to your day 110, 20, 50. You also have to
Yeah.
do the work, right?
Mhm.
And also, you don't know if everything that they're saying is true. And I'm going to share something very for only for you and for the people listening today. I've gotten into me and my team, we've gotten into millions of followers Instagrams. What I mean by
Mm.
that is like there's this name with that you see 20 million here, 40 million there, TikTok, and we get in, they're all bots.
No.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Like they're all like, and one time I just had to tell someone that it's very famous online. I had to say, sorry, we can't sell books to bots. We can't sell
Ah.
books to bots. And I said, I'm sorry, but this is our reality. We won't like if we want to make sure that we do the service and we provide a service, and it's okay if you want to hire us. But the truth is, we're not going to do anything sending messages or connecting or inviting bots. And I remember I'm not gonna say he or she, looked at me and said, "Can we start over? Can I open another account?" It was so embarrassed. This person was so embarrassed for the fact that it was trying to fake a person's line that I'm sure a lot of people follow, like, and things that is making lots of millions. Now, another person, another story over there, because you're talking about, I love the title of your book because it's so true. People are speaking and they're really not not saying anything real. This big event with over 2,000 people, this, I'm gonna say lady, she hired us. We did the copywriting for her book. We helped her with the event. We did all of these different things. I was so happy. She got in the news, and now she got a spot in the news. She did got lots of things, lots of things. And 1 month after, she did a chargeback, and she said, "Sorry, I just don't have money." But she was teaching finances,
Oh,
and I was like, you know what? Keep it. You know what? It's like, because I know God will provide me.
yes, yes, 100%.
And I just don't want to keep helping someone who is telling people how to manage their finances. When you're lying, it's okay if you come and say, "Look, I'm still learning and let's learn together."
Yeah, yeah.
Big difference from saying that to actually say, "This is how you do it." So
Mm.
moment that you're really vulnerable and say, "Hey guys, I'm working on this. I have this knowledge. Why don't we share knowledge? Why don't we learn together? I'm
Yeah.
not guru here because that's not aligned with your reality." So yeah, she's been away from the digital world for a year now, and I
Mm.
really don't know where she is, and I don't want to know. And we have a good relationship now because obviously, like for me, there, I understand she's going her journey, I'm going on mine, and we're still text sometimes. But I was surprised. You'll be surprised of the amount of people faking a reality online. And that's the only thing I can tell you. Like, we need to stop comparing our lives to somebody else's. And we need to start comparing our potential future with somebody else's because that's not
Mhm.
real. Uh, today, this month, it's all about living one day at a time, right? Like,
Mhm.
every day, I don't know how you say it in English, I know in Spanish, cada día trae su propio afán, which means I know that this one is in the Bible, so you should tell. Every day, like every day has its own something, right? Like its own problems. And
Yeah,
you only have to
yeah,
worry about today. So this
yeah.
is where I'm at today. So I share a lot. So you tell me what you think.
No, I love that. That's great. I think the thing too is I'm not sure we've made it safe for people to be who they authentically are. Right? It's not popular, right? Right now is a wave of it kind of happening where people are kind of authentic and it's extreme because now we're like versus like being who I am, my voice, which I had to learn because I realize we're in a like, follow, share type of culture. So if I don't have the reviews, if I don't have the following, then it appears that I'm not an influencer or I'm not successful. That word, right? That we love and hate. But that's why I still have the part of my work that I realized that for me, when I look at the area of success, first off, I've learned that success is nothing that I'm achieving. I was born that way. It's coded in my God coding. Because I'm made in the image and likeness of God, I'm already successful. Because I beat all the other sperms that got to my mother's egg, I'm already successful. So I had to realize, wait a minute, Christian, rewire, connect with the realm of heaven because you are who you are. And let's just be real, whether you are making millions or you don't have anything in your account, you're still successful because either you did the work to be successful or you didn't do it and you're successfully sitting there on the couch, right? Either way, it's that place. But the thing that hits my heart and mind is when I lay my head down at night and I say my prayers, I want my heavenly Father to smile and be like, that's well done, well done. Matter of fact, when Jesus was baptized, God said to him, "This is my son who I am well pleased." And this was before he had done any miracles. This is what spoke to me. God was pleased because of sonship, and sonship is not gender; it's gender neutral, pretty much. It's the area of man and woman. Because I am a child of God and doing what I am doing to glorify and honor that, then I'm pleased. So that changed my perspective, where I can pull back and just be me. Here's the other thing: I tried to run from this. I said I'm going to use religious ease, so to speak. When I coach, when I speak, I'm gonna put this thing on the side, like I see other influencers do. You don't really know if they're Christian, you don't know what they're doing, and that's fine. The conversation comes behind. I'm gonna try that. It wouldn't work for me. I couldn't help myself but to start teaching and coaching and speaking or having biblical references. So then I stopped fighting it and said, "This is who you created me to be." And as I gave you the respect, I asked for permission because I honor the system that I am. And I said, "Look, can I be me here?" And you're like, "Be you, be who you are," right? Because there's somebody that will connect. And again, if we can operate through love, again, you're listening, you say, "Okay, well, I don't follow Christianity. I don't," that's fine. At least take the principle of connecting with your higher mind, self, God, beauty, whatever you want to call it, and doing good in this earth. This earth needs your authentic expression. And that brings me even to the work that I'm working on now called The Present Centered Path. And this is another book that'll be coming out in December 26th. I'll have it out. You can pre-order it now. I can get you those links. But this is a spiritual framework for embodying what I call the realm of heaven on earth, not as an idea, but as a lifestyle. We treat this spirituality as a religious thing, and I'm very relational when it comes to my relationship with God. It's not just something I do on a Sunday or a Bible study or when I'm on the stage. It's a lifestyle. So this helps to guide leaders from that disconnection to a divine flow through different pillars that I've come to know and to operate from. My encouragement is we have to be present centered and are living present in God's present, living from a realm that no matter what happens in the earth, in your business, in your family, like you are what I call earth proof. You're earth proof. It doesn't matter who's in the house, White House, outhouse. It doesn't matter. It's when you're connected to that realm, it's like I'm at a place where God, you show me, I know you're going to take care of me. You'll never leave me nor forsake me. And it's because of you that I have the power to produce this wealth. So I dare not go against what it is that you've been gifted me to do.
Oh, I have so many things to share. You're sharing and my mind is just going like million, how do you say it? Million miles per
Million miles. There
Yeah,
you
and
go.
I'm also like my languages are like all mixing right now
Hey.
because I'm just thinking about business, right? Some people think that if the business is successful, meaning you're doing more, but the truth is that the fruits, right? What is the real fruit that your company is doing? Like,
Ooh.
what is how much did you struggle or fight
Mm,
or hustle for that fruit? Because there's two different fruits, right? One that I was living that it was so easy to get. It was just being connected with God, just like making my simple prayers and putting it all into God's hands and saying, "Let's go this route, and I'll follow your direction. You lead. I'll be there. I'll be smiling. I'll be okay because I know you have control." And the
mm,
other one, it's when you take control, when
mm.
you think you have control. And then you remember there's HR department, there's like Texas, and then there's a reality. Oh, those things are God doesn't have an opinion, right? But the truth is he does. And actually
Yeah.
it's crazy because when I was driving on my way here, I just had this I just listened to the voice of God saying like just remember miracles exist and I am the creator of everything. I'm really not expecting or wishing or asking for a miracle at this moment and this time. But I don't know if someone listening, it's actually
Yes.
looking for a miracle or has been praying
Yes.
for a miracle. And
Yes.
and miracles can happen like this. And that's
Yes.
what faith is. You're talking about if someone is listening and is not Christian, you just the faith, right? Just having
Mhm.
faith. I was born in a Christian family, and most of my uncles and like I saw in all my family, all the pastors, but I saw the good and the bad in pastors.
Mhm.
So the
Mhm.
human in a pastor. So
Yep.
for me, the relationship you have with Jesus, the relationship you have with God, the questioning you have to be doing, like your faith is only yours. I
Mhm.
I had full transparency. I had with our my audience, and And I don't think I've ever spoke about something like this on this podcast, but I feel like it, like doing it today. I questioned Jesus and I said, I need you. I don't believe the story where you were on the cross. It doesn't,
Mhm,
in my mind, it doesn't make
mhm,
sense. Like,
mhm.
and then this I have a very good friend of mine, Alejandra, who she told me, like, ask him to show you. You'll see. Ask him to talk to you. He will show you. He will, like, but pay attention, right? Pay attention to the signs, pay attention to, like, and just make sure that you're also not listening to your voice. You're really praying, doing fasting, like all those different things that you have to do. So
Mhm.
for me, it has been a very, I'm just coming back, right, from the time of me doing, be trying to be away. But the good thing is you can always come back. Like,
Yes,
that's a
yes.
good thing, like, when you just say, "Hey, I can come back," like, and I could just go back to church, like, no one is really judging me, and I think that
Mm-mm.
sometimes people feel like, "I need to go to another church. I need to go this other place," and my kids were the ones actually bringing me back to church. They told me, "It's your responsibility as a parent to actually take us to church. We need to have faith," and I was like, "Oh my god, kids, you're so right." So I took him to 3 different ones, and they end up going back to the one that I've always gone.
Mhm.
So I just, what you were saying is, like, you need to be open. You have to have an open mind and an open heart,
Yes.
that and you can't separate your personal life and your faith from your business. It's all connected. You are the same person that goes back home, that the same person that goes to your job, the same person that's talking to your employees, the same person that closes that big deal, small deal, uh, creates this store online. It's the same person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not easy. It's not easy to
Yeah.
run a company. And being an entrepreneur, it's not easy. uh, have the opportunity to coach and mentor over 500 startups. They have so many dreams. They're like, "Oh, we want to do all of this," and I'm like, you don't have. You were talking about mission and purpose. They don't know what they're doing it. The why that makes everyone cry. The Simon Sinek says,
Yeah.
why? You really don't have a reason.
Mm.
Want to make money. That's not a good reason. Sorry to tell you, it's not a good reason. And you really need to come from a place in your heart that really want to serve another human being on this earth. And
Yeah.
then you really have the good intentions. Obviously, there's people with not such great intentions that are doing things, but that doesn't mean it's gonna last long or it's gonna create a legacy. So when
Yeah.
you're saying it, it's all about legacy. So tell me a
Mm.
little bit about your next book. I want to hear more about your next book before.
Yeah. I shared that. Can I go back to something real quick though?
Of
Because
course,
you
yes,
you
yes, yes,
started something. You
yes,
said
yes, yes.
something, and then we can transition to that. You said somebody believing for a miracle, so that doesn't leave me because I heard that. Um, and so maybe you are listening here and you're saying, okay, in my business, I'm not very faithful. And again, to each his own. We're not saying you have to do it the way that I do it, the way that Karen does it. You allow that still small voice to go ahead and speak to you in whatever way that may be. But just be open to experiencing that love. And that's the first miracle that I really do realize, that there's an unconditional love, that when my mother, my father, my children, maybe I've dealt with abandonment, I've dealt with different things like that. Me personally had dealt with sexual, taken advantage of sexually when I was a kid. There's different things that we had to just, everybody had their stories that they navigate. That still have a heavenly father that loves, that protects, and that is God. And because of that, I would encourage you, just like Karen had said, ask God to show you. Don't just take my word or Karen's word for it. Like right where you are, whatever that miracle is, I don't care if it's monetarily, I don't care if it's physical in your body, I don't care if it's for somebody else. Like just take him at his word and just try it out. See if it works for you. But put your heart in a position to say, okay, I'm believing you for this in my business. I'm believing you for this in my community. I'm believing you for this. And then release it, but then also be open to listen to what your follow through is. See, I believe in cooperating with God. We're made in the image and likeness of God. So we have God inside of us. So there's a team aspect. I'm not just sitting here and rubbing the God bottle and asking this God out there to do something. I'm realizing he's within me and we work together. So what is it that you and God are working together on to release in this earth. This business that Keren has, multi businesses, is helping people. It's serving people. It has integrity. It has character. She can say yes. She can say no. She's providing jobs for people in an uncertain time all over the world. What is God saying to your heart and mind? So I don't want you to miss your miracle moment by whatever that is. And then write her or email us or let us know what God did from there, because that would be the most blessing out of this whole situation, right? To operate from that place. So I just agree with her. And the other thing is, I want to speak to your own business, your businesses, Keren, like your love, your light, who you are. My prayer for you and your team is that God will continue to trust you and open doors that no man can shut because of your integrity, because of you being willing to operate the way that you are, that God will continue to bless you. He'll protect your children. He'll love on you. He'll help bless your bloodline, because for you, it's not just about you. It's about generational occurrences, generational wealth and mindsets. And so my prayer is that you become that demonstration that God has trusted you personally with this light and with this platform. People trust you with their vision. I write books. That is a vulnerable place that I can trust you with. I talked to a person today. I said, you have to be careful with who you partner with, because they have to represent something. If they speak on behalf, if they're booking me to speak, if they're doing something, we have to trust them. And I'm here within the short time of our relationship to say, you are trustworthy.
Oh, thank you.
And if anybody's listening, you want to be with a company, with a leadership that honors something bigger than themselves, God, life, the beauty, and creator. And this is what we're praying blessings upon every business that you put your hand to. It's my prayer that it succeeds for kingdom advancement and protection over your life. And so I just wanted to release that to you. You asked me about my book. That's
Thank
it's
you.
called The Present Centered Path.
I wasn't
Okay.
expecting that, but thank you so much. Thank you.
I gotta give. It's who I am.
And
So
I'm going to share something that
yes.
I only share with close friends of mine, because I feel like I told you this podcast is for my friends and my mentors. And you're here. So I think it was 2 years ago. Someone decided to write a book. He was in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I don't know if you've ever heard about Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Mhm. Yes. Mhm.
For me, it was very difficult to pronounce. It took me a long time. He
You
wrote
did a good job, though.
he wrote a book, and I think he was in his mid 40s, and he was very, very successful. He was a developer, and it was the book. It's about fighting the fact that real estate agents make a lot of money out of the properties and the people buying, and he was trying to fight for them to have a net, like a set salary or a set number, so they wouldn't increase the prices. And for me, there was a very nice way of saying, look, I'm a developer and I also buy houses. I don't think this is fair. So let me try to help the people, because the people making the money is actually the brokers. This was his idea. So he wrote the book. We launched his book. We started the petition. He was like, we can't do this. We can find a way. One day he's just going in his bike and he got run over by a truck, and we got an email from his wife saying, on the content you guys created and the book he launches, the only thing we have
Uh,
of him speaking. And he had children. And for me, I was like, God, I'm not launching books. I'm not selling books to people. Sometimes that could be the way that you let your children and your wife and your past clients and your business co-founder gets to know you and your story and who you are and what you've gone through. And maybe you never share that story with them, but you can share it in that book. So for me, a book, it's beyond. Now we're talking about technology. You have the access to write a book, to publish it yourself, to go on Amazon, to just find out how it's done, find a cheap Fiverr or anyone, a good friend, someone. You have options. People in the past used to give away. I've been this past year, I've been working a lot with the music industry for a project, big project we have. I see how the artist didn't make any money. It was all the record labels or the manager. Same thing used to happen with books, right? The big publishers used to keep all the money. Still, there's a lot of big publishing houses that make deals when an author doesn't really know. But my point is like the fact that you can create a company that you learn because you can see so many people, and then you can tell someone, don't go this way, don't do it this way, just like people coming to you and be honest and say, I'm not okay. I think more men should allow themselves to say, I'm not okay. And it's okay for me to go and ask for help. And maybe if I already went through the all the medicine, because in the United States, and it's very, and even in Europe, you guys are taking lots of medicine, the ayahuasca trip and the other trip, and it's not working. uh, maybe maybe you just need Christian to help. Just maybe, right? Just to have a conversation, an honest conversation with someone who can help you or guide you, or even this is something I heard a lot, and it was saying, Karen, it's lonely at the top. And I was like, I don't want to be at the top then. I don't wanna be at the
Wow.
top. It's not, I don't
Wow.
wanna be lonely. Like, why? What the prize of success is being lonely? I was like, I don't want it. I don't want it then. It's fair. It's fair to say, I can be successful in my own way. My family can look this way. My relationship with God can look this way. It's my life. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I can do whatever I want with it as long as I'm not affecting anyone negatively and only
Yes.
positively. So I know that we only have 4 minutes before we wrap up this episode, but tell me your last words before we go.
Take the risk. Take the risk. And that means something different for everybody. Everybody, take the risk to trust God. Take the risk to write the book. Take the risk to do something that is going to outlive you. Like that's what this is about. Like be who you are. Listen, I don't care how young or old you are. You are chosen. You are called. You have purpose. And just like Karen was saying, get your smile back. Like that smile from the inside out, not just the one we put on our face. That's performance. I'm talking about the smile in your heart. And for some of you, it's getting in nature. For some of you, it is writing and journaling. For some of you, it's saying, you know what, I'm going to take a week off and I'm going to connect with my babies and I'm going to connect with my grandkids, or whatever the case may be. But take the risk, the one that really counts, because you have been sacrificing and you do deserve it. But just make sure that this is the one that is an everlasting one that continues to go through generations to generations. You are already blessed. There's nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing broken within you. Align with your God mind, because there's great things and we need your expression here on earth.
And I'm just gonna wrap up with, I told you I listened to some of the podcasts because you have a podcast, and I hope people go and listen to you and your podcast as well. You said you were talking about fear. And my mom loves to tell me, since I was doing all these trips, I did over 42 trips last year. And my mom was like, aren't you scared of like the trip or the airport or going alone or doing all of this? I'm like, no, because God's with me.
Mm,
So you can't be, I just can't be afraid. Like, how can, and this sense of I'm okay and I'm always okay because I'm protected, I'm loved, I'm being guided. You can't buy that with any
mm.
money, from any revenue. That's something you can buy, I promise you. Like, you can buy lots of things, but you cannot buy feeling safe and feeling that you're in the right direction because you are walking with God. So I'm just gonna wrap it up in there. And thank you so much, Christian, for taking the time to be in Beyond the Book. Please go and order his book. We're gonna add all the links here in the description. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.